The story opens in a city in Egypt. When Layla comes home, she finds her pet bird at the bottom of its cage, soaked in a strange black liquid. Layla panics and calls her mother to save it, but the mother coldly picks the bird up and crushes it in her hand. Afterward, Layla's parents head down to a secret cellar beneath the house, which sits right under a black pyramid. Inside the cellar is a mysterious stone coffin, so heavy that Layla's father has to use chains to open it. Layla's mother steps closer to check whether it has woken up. Suddenly, the mummy stirs, and every candle in the cellar goes out. Right after, the mummy tears open its wrappings, and a hook attached to the coffin shoots straight into the mother's jaw, lifting her into the air and killing her. At the same moment, the coffin lid slams shut, trapping the mummy inside while it frantically smashes around. The scene reveals that Layla's family isn't just guarding an ordinary mummy, but something sealed by a dark ritual passed down for generations. Sometime later, Charlie and Larissa take their kids to Egypt for a vacation. The couple runs outside when they hear an argument and find Katie crying because Sebastian threw her doll off the balcony and broke it. After arguing with her father, Katie goes out to the garden to play. There she sees a woman standing behind the fence. At first, Katie thinks it's her friend Layla, but the woman says she's Layla's mother. She does a little trick with some flowers, then hands Katie the kind of candy she likes. Katie is a little scared and says she has to go home, but Layla's mother offers her a fruit from the garden. Just as Katie reaches for it, the woman apologizes and mutters a spell. The fruit suddenly cracks open. A black worm crawls out and it shoots straight into Katie's mouth. The girl collapses, unable to breathe. When Charlie runs into the garden, Katie is gone, and all that's left on the fence is a hole. Charlie panics and runs out into the street, asking the neighbors if anyone has seen his daughter. He spots a woman dragging a little girl along and immediately chases after her. But the storm grows stronger and the crowd turns chaotic, so he loses her. Later at the police station, Inspector Dahlia talks with Charlie and Larissa. The couple describes how Katie vanished and hands over a pile of candy wrappers they found in the dollhouse. Dahlia's superior tells her to investigate the family first, because by procedure, in a missing child case, the relatives are always the first suspects. 8 years pass. Charlie's family now lives in New Mexico, but Katie's room has been kept exactly as it was the day she disappeared. They have another daughter named Maud, and Larissa's mother, Carmen, lives with them too. Meanwhile, in the desert of eastern Egypt, a boy is fixing his bike when he sees a plane crash right behind him. He runs over to look and finds the pilot's body on the ground with an eye lying nearby. Terrified, he runs off but trips right in front of an ancient stone coffin. Not long after, researchers are stumped because no machine can scan inside the stone coffin. They finally decide to open it. As they peel away the layers of cloth, all sorts of strange symbols appear on it, like a string of spells written to both lock whatever is inside and warn people never to open it. The mummy's nails are unnaturally long, but what unnerves everyone more is that its skin still looks as fresh as a living person's. When they remove the cloth over the face, inside is the face of a young girl. Her eyes are pitch black, a worm crawls out of her mouth, and she thrashes and screams inside the coffin. In New Mexico, Charlie and Larissa get a call from the U.S. Embassy saying Katie has been found and is still alive. The two immediately fly to Cairo. A doctor warns that Katie has been through severe trauma and was starved for a long time, so she's in a state of deep shock. When her parents walk into the room, they see that Katie's body has changed. She's no longer the child she once was, but much older, gaunt and pale with strangely tense muscles. The doctor says that since she was brought to the hospital, she keeps clawing at herself. When Charlie and Larissa speak gently to her, Katie moves her hand a little as if to take theirs. But then she has a panic attack. Afterward, Dahlia shows them images of the mysterious stone coffin, which is about 3,000 years old. She says Katie arrived on the plane that just crashed, and because there's no clear record of the 8 missing years, she suspects the girl was the victim of a human trafficking ring or some secret cult. The next day, Charlie and Larissa bring Katie home, but Katie suddenly sits up and slams her head into Carmen's. Her body bends backward unnaturally and then floats above the bed. Charlie has to hold her down so Larissa can inject a sedative. That night, Charlie looks for answers by going back over the photos of the stone coffin and the mummy's wrappings. Larissa sits beside Katie, showing her old family photos and talking about their old life. A while later, Charlie comes back to find Larissa asleep on the bed and Katie gone. At the same time, Maud is woken by strange sounds coming from inside the wall. She wakes Sebastian, and the two of them hear something crawling inside. Larissa opens a little door in the wall, and something darts past her face. Hearing her mother, Katie runs, setting off a terrifying chase through the gaps in the walls. Finally, the family sees the girl crawl out of the wall, chewing a live scorpion in her mouth. Larissa desperately reaches into her daughter's mouth to pull it out, making Katie vomit up a green, slimy fluid. The next morning, when Charlie takes the kids to school, he finds a pack of wolves blocking the path in front of the house. At home, Carmen brushes Katie's hair and notices it's falling out in clumps, while Larissa trims her nails. As she cuts the last nail, Larissa hears a strange sound and realizes in horror that the clippings she just cut are growing back inside Katie's mouth. At the same time, Charlie is locking the little door in Katie's room, trying to stop her from crawling through the walls, when he finds a bloodstain under the rug. When he lifts the rug, beneath it is a sticky black liquid eating through the wooden floor. Right after, Charlie hears Carmen scream in the bathroom. He runs in to find Larissa and Carmen on the floor and Katie gone. A bloody handprint on the wall leads him to where Katie is repeatedly striking her own leg with an iron bar, as if trying to cut it off. Charlie wants to take her to a specialist hospital, but Larissa fiercely refuses because she doesn't want to lose her daughter again. The argument makes Charlie realize Larissa still blames him for Katie's disappearance years ago, while he reminds her that she never knew anything about the friend who gave their daughter candy either. When there's no reaction, Larissa shakes her gently, and Katie spits straight into her mother's face. Meanwhile, Charlie picks up a piece of skin that peeled off Katie's leg. When he separates the layers of skin under his workbench, he's stunned to see symbols on it exactly like the ones on the wrappings of the stone coffin. The next day, he takes photos of the symbols to an archaeology professor. The professor says it's a form of ancient Egyptian writing, apparently recorded on cloth used to wrap mummies. That night, Charlie sits beside Katie, holds her hand and cries as he apologizes. He records all the symbols and looks them up using Katie's old guidebook. The decoded message just repeats one name over and over: Layla. That makes Charlie understand that the human part still left inside Katie is trying to warn him, but can't say it directly out loud. He wonders whether the family ever knew anyone named Layla, and he remembers an old card with candy drawn on it. The card is signed by Layla. Just then, Maud hears singing from Katie's room. The girl thinks her sister can finally speak and comes closer, and Katie admits she can talk, but tells Maud not to tell anyone. When Maud gets scared and runs, Katie whispers a few words of dark magic that frees her in place. Maud's body is lifted into the air, and she struggles to breathe, while the lights in the house flicker on and off before she's slammed into the door. The next morning, Dahlia traces the card. The system turns up many girls named Layla, but a colleague helps her determine that the card could only have been sent from a small post office out in the Aswan desert, near where the plane crashed. It matches what Layla's mother gave Katie right before she disappeared, so the lead about the farm becomes extremely important. At the same time, the professor tells Charlie that the symbols keep repeating one name: Nazmaranian. In an international lecture on ancient Egyptian monsters, Nazmaranian is described as an ancient demon that destroys families. It jumps from one person's body to another, sowing hatred, and can only be imprisoned with spells written on the wrappings wound around its host. At school, Maud starts being controlled by Katie from a distance and viciously insults the teacher. Back in Egypt, Dahlia reaches the farm. After searching it, she finds a small pyramid along with a chain mechanism leading down to a cellar. When she comes back up, she has no phone signal and senses someone in the next room. Layla's mother suddenly appears and lunges at her with a knife, forcing Dahlia to shoot in self-defense. When she asks about Katie, Dahlia sees Layla standing in the doorway. After a long chase, Dahlia corners her at the edge of a cliff. Layla is digging in the dirt and pulls out a box. Inside is a tape with Katie's name written on it. On the tape, Layla's mother explains that an innocent child is the best vessel because the body can endure the longest, but in a pinch, any human will do. When Dahlia checks her mouth, she sees that Layla's tongue has been cut out. The girl writes that she once tried to tell the truth and was punished by her mother. She also reveals that Katie was never supposed to be taken out of the stone coffin. The research team, opening the coffin, broke the seal and accidentally brought the demon's vessel back out into the world. Meanwhile, Carmen is attacked by Katie in her room. She prays with a crucifix, but Katie only laughs and uses the rosary beads to strangle her. Then it says in a monstrous voice that dying is fun and throws Carmen out the window. When Charlie and the kids get home, Carmen's body falls right onto the car's hood and Maud bursts out laughing. At Carmen's funeral, Maud keeps pulling out her own teeth until they come loose from the roots. Sebastian hears Katie calling from the locked room. The voice is no longer the horrible shriek from before, but sweet and weak, as if his real sister is crying for help. It brings up how he once threw Katie's doll off the balcony and says that's exactly what gave it the idea to throw the grandmother. In the kitchen, all of Maud's teeth have fallen out, and a black mark like the one in Katie's room appears on the ceiling. Maud walks over to Carmen's coffin and pulls a thread from her mouth, making the corpse's mouth gape open. Someone accidentally bumps into Maud, and the girl instantly lunges and bites his neck. At the same time, Katie crawls across the ceiling and then leaps straight into the coffin, attacking Carmen's body and licking blood from the wound. After the funeral, the family finally understands they can't keep treating all of this as an ordinary illness. Charlie sits guard in the room, but the girl's strength still doesn't let up. Larissa is packing when Maud keeps calling her a terrible mother. The one who arrives is Dahlia. She brings the tape and explains everything she just discovered at Layla's farm. According to her, a single body can't imprison the demon forever, so the cursed family has to keep preparing new vessels. Over many generations, the Black Mummy ritual has been performed a total of 82 times. On the tape, Katie is hung over the stone coffin, beside the previous mummy. When Layla's mother reads the spell, the mummy wakes, spits the black liquid into Katie's mouth, and then everyone wraps her in the enchanted cloth and locks her in the coffin. Dahlia says the demon has to be imprisoned underground, in a coffin warded with ancient writing. But now it's been set free and is using the love of Charlie's family as the weak point to take them one by one. Right then, Katie uses her strength to pull Sebastian into the room. He breaks the window, climbs in and helps her peel off her old skin to reveal new skin underneath. Larissa and Dahlia try to get the door open while a violent storm surrounds the house outside. In the living room, Charlie freezes in front of the TV, then sees that Carmen has come back to life, sitting and eating food at her own funeral. Larissa and Dahlia break through the door, but are thrown back by Katie's power. The door opens by itself, and Katie appears in a demonic form, hovering in the air. It lunges at Charlie, bites off a piece of his skin, and is pulled away by everyone. It throws Dahlia down the stairs, hits Larissa's head, then swallows Charlie's skin to switch its target to him. Larissa grabs a syringe of sedative, hides in the recessed wall passage, and suddenly injects Sebastian, knocking him out. Downstairs, Dahlia comes as Carmen plants a foot on her neck. Carmen drops a scorpion into Dahlia's mouth and walks off. Despite the pain, Dahlia pulls the scorpion out of her throat and kicks Carmen, catching her head on the railing. Upstairs, Katie is strangling Charlie. He pushes it off, crawls down the stairs, and meets Dahlia. When Katie attacks again, Charlie holds his daughter tight while Dahlia, pressing the wound on her neck, reads the spell. Right after, Katie spits all the black liquid from her mouth into Charlie's. The demon has switched hosts. Charlie chooses to become the new Cage because he believes it's the only way to save Katie and also a way to atone for the guilt of failing to protect his daughter 8 years ago. A moment later, Katie comes to, and for the first time calls Larissa his mom. Later, Charlie is locked in a coffin down in the basement. Not long after, they learn that Layla's mother is still alive and in the hospital. One afternoon, Larissa visits her and secretly injects her with a sedative. The three of them begin the ritual to transfer the demon from Charlie back into Layla's mother's body. The story closes on a chilling ambiguity.